There's an old saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. In the Bill of Rights it says, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed. The laws in the Bill of Rights are our constant and inalienable rights. In other words, it means that they can never be taken away from any citizen of the United States. No matter what laws are passed, there is no stopping a criminal from getting a gun. It's the law-abiding citizens who won't be able to. So why would we want the enemy to be the only ones with a gun and us with nothing but a knife to protect us if they plan on attacking us? All the gun control laws are doing is making it so that we can't protect us from our true enemy, murderers. They are able to use any weapon they want, but the obvious choice is a gun. There are many reasons why someone would want to own a gun. These can include things such as safety, range shooting, and hunting. If a firearm is used in any of these areas, I think that guns are a very good piece of equipment that can be used in a variety of occasions. The Gun Control Act of 1968 all started with the assassinations of John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King made by President Lyndon Johnson. He made getting weapons a little harder. To be able to get and legally own a gun, it takes months of gun safety and some money to be able to afford the gun you want. There are many cases where even if you have done any of these, you will be turned down immediately. If you are addicted to any controlled substance, are convicted of any crimes, or if you have done anything that, if done by an adult, would result in jail time. After you are free from any offenses to the state, you then are able to buy a gun that is a rifle, shotgun, or handgun without a permit. More high-risk guns, such as automatic and some high-powered semi-automatic guns, are prohibited to the public. Guns are in all different sizes and shapes. They all have their own type of ammunition, and on each and every one of these guns lay a small serial number that can be tracked back to the gun company who bought them. Rifles, shotguns, and handguns can be used for hunting, recreational shooting, and for war. They all have different applications in these areas. All can be used to harm others, but should only be used for hunting, recreational safety, and military uses. More often is a life saved by a gun than destroyed. Anti-gun activists say that there should be no guns at all, and that more lives are killed than saved because of a gun. But in many cases, it is a gun that saves many people by stopping the murderer. Many school shootings have taken place in this country, all of them very tragic. Some of these include the Pearl, Mississippi shooting, where the principal was able to run to his car where he kept a gun for this situation, and he stopped the shooter as he was reloading by immobilizing the shooter. Nobody else was injured after that. Same thing happened in the Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, where the shooter was caught when a civilian held him at gunpoint while reloading. One of the most famous and tragic of all shootings was in Columbine, Colorado, where many students and teachers were killed. And someone had a gun as these other two school shootings, maybe less people would have died at Columbine High School, and this is why we need more gun supporters. A group of people who are very proud of what guns have done for this country and are a supporter of the Second Amendment rights is the NRA, the National Rifle Association, as headed by Charles Heston, and goes place to speak of the fact that owning guns is a right to each and every American, and that it can never be taken away from you. While the NRA is a great supporter, some more radical parties, such as the Black Panther Party, think that the Second Amendment is there so that if the government ever becomes corrupt, we would be able to overthrow it. The NRA is a much better example on how many great old-fashioned Americans should be. Our country wouldn't have been started unless it wasn't for the work of the militia men going against the British during the Revolution. When people say that they want to completely rid the world of guns except for military use, lots of things would go wrong. First thing, the economy would suffer even more because there would be less and less hunters, which means no Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops. With no hunters, they won't need anything like blinds, ammunition, or a gun safe because there will be no need for such things. All that would be left is fishing, and inflammation would cause food to be much more for the average American. Last year alone, there were 276,000 deer taken in Kansas alone. With all those deer still alive, they would cause even more damage to what we call home. Lots of animals would overrun areas and crops would do worse. The feral hog population is skyrocketing, and the only thing that can kill them is us with a gun. They have no predators because they are a foreign species. With less of job market and bad crops, jobs would be even scarcer, and none of us would be able to eat unless we would import from another country, making our country's debt even greater. Guns have been around for a long time and improved in both design and power. No matter what type of people get a hold of them, a gun itself is good. When a gun is used correctly, it can save lives, protect the environment, and even save the economy. If we try to get rid of them, we will only give criminals a greater urge to break the law. We need them for our defense in our day and age and should never rid America of guns.